Tasie. And I think I am a household name in Ikwereland. I make no boast to say this, that I am the most prominent Ikwere historian, the most announced, prominent, pronounced Ikwere historian. This year marks my 24 years as a historian in the service. About top of yes. Our history is tied to the Benin. Let me begin with that. The family of Wewuje in Isiokpo, ancient kingdom, should be very proud. And I want to say this, that without this that I'm holding here, you have no history. You cannot say anything about your people, about your family. This is the history of Wewuje family. And this happened as a result of many years of research. And let me begin. Greetings and blessings of God to every one of you that is here to bear evidence of this wonderful occasion. I am Dr. Alex British Tasie, a prominent and pronounced Ikwere historian and creative writer from Krahia village in Isiokpo Kingdom. I am a historian that tells rare and uncommon stories of the past, listening very carefully. I am a proud, self-acclaimed and self-appointed president of the Nigerian semi-educated people. The people in Nigeria that you say are not highly educated and well-educated. I am popularly called a professor of native intelligence. And an author of 10 books. Is it easy? Was that easy? Let's go. It is my honor to be here today as a special guest to briefly give some historical accounts of the Ezeogwu family. I am creating a background of the original family called Ezeogwu family. And the cow. Yes. In the past, I have been invited to some other Ikwere communities to say one thing or the other concerning some of the important people in those communities that I've captured in my history books. Some of these communities are Omagwa. To tell the stories of Obuku, of Imogu Omagwa, the man who wanted to prevent some white people that wanted to enter Omagwa community through the Isiokpo in the middle of the 19th century. Romocholo community in Rumokrushi invited me in the year of 2010 to talk about one of the illustrious sons called Ezeogwu Keke, who fought the white people that wanted to establish a market in his hometown in the ending period of the 10th century. And the palace of his Eze Ferdinand Eleno Ekenta committee in the year of 2009 invited me to talk about how the white people from Degema had wanted to come into Ikwere land through that axis and were assisted by the Wisdom people in the ending period of the 19th century. This is also a similar case. What we are witnessing here today is nothing but the awesome power of history, which its significance lies in the past. As we vividly know, history is about the past, whether the immediate or the long distant past. It is naturally obvious that the life we live is categorized by the phases of time, the past, the present, and the future. But of all these chronological phases of time, only the past and the present hold so much essence in our individual and collective life. The future we cannot tell and know is mine, but live by hope and faith, of which there is no guarantee and trust of what we want to achieve and do. The past is the storehouse and as well as the storekeeper of the existence of human beings. That is why what we do in the present as being living persons matter, because sometime and someday our earthly existence will be extinguished and our actions shifted into the past. It is the stories about our past that will help the living to be elucidated and illuminated concerning our earthly existence and some of the actions that we take in the present. It is also the insights that we know about the past that will help to guide the footsteps of the people of the present so as to know how to live life in the future. So it is essential that as living persons, we do what is right and what is great today in our life. Please bear with me. We are going to the climax of this issue. Last step. Okay. We are here today, as I know, to remember and celebrate a family in Isiokpo ancient kingdom that in every historical assessment is termed prepossessing, prodigious, and phenomenal. The Ezeogwu family is located in Odu Alimini village in Isiokpo ancient kingdom. What is special about this wonderful family is that it has an imposing image that in olden days rattled so many other families in Isiokpo kingdom and Ikwerre land in general. To be candid, as a research, investigative, as well as interrogative historian, renowned for excavating and unearthing mystifying historical subject matters for public knowledge and for what I call relishment, I want to boldly say that in the olden days in Isiokpo and Ikwerre land in general, that only a few families were as pronounced, important, and big like Ezeogwu family. Whether we are here to talk about Ezeogwu himself, the patriarch of the Ezeogwu family, or Ezeogwu, his biological son, as a historian that has understudied the Ezeogwu family, it will be interesting that I create a more lurid historical background so as to avail you the opportunity to know more about this wonderful family. Therefore, special and profound historical attention, like the one I have given to study the Ezeogwu family, it suffices to say that maybe a large chunk of the historical essences of this great family would have remained entombed and unrevealed. It is true that some people in Isiokpo kingdom and Ikwerre land know about the Ezeogwu family, but I may go to say that many people in Isiokpo kingdom and elsewhere, and even the children of Ezeogwu family, do not have enough historical analysis of this wonderful family as I do. Now, who is Ezeogwu? Just like many other families that I have given historical attention in my history books on Ikwerre and on Isiokpo and Ikwerre, the Ezeogwu family is also one of the special families that I have given some historical coverage. After such onerous and tasking historical examinations and incursions to showcase the worth of some families in Ikwerre land, it is pertinent to say that it is gratifying that the painstaking efforts I undertake to limelight some of the past events that happened in Ikwerre is beginning to yield good results. As many families in Ikwerre land are beginning to resurrect the names of their families that have been kept in historical oblivion. As earlier said, whether our attention here is to talk about Ezeogwu himself or his son, Ezeogwu, it is behoving that I create a lurid historical background about the Ezeogwu family so as to sufficiently inform the people here about the historical worth of this large family in Isiokpo and Ikwerre kingdom. The Ezeogwu family was originated by late Chief Ezeogwu himself, a human colossus, a panjandrum of his generation, a man famed as a powerful war executor. In Isiokpo kingdom, oral accounts speak volumes of the power and fame of the patriarch of Ezeogwu family, the late Chief Ezeogwu. Presumably born in the ending period of the 1700s, Ezeogwu grew up to become a man of intrepid nature. Although he was generous to give alms to the indigent, but he was also obstreperous and stubborn, a little above the youth level. He married many wives and began to have many children. To survive his family, he embarked in large-scale farming. His farming profession brought him big rewards. and subsequently he became wealthy. Listen, to expand his family profession, he bought many slaves to give a helping hand. In the year of 1831, Ezeogwu and his Abeba allies staged a war against King Wole of Omo community and Omo people in general. Because as stories are told about it, one of the many wives of Ezeogwu was assaulted and killed when she went to inspect her farm around the area that bordered Isiokpo and Omo community. Incensed and angered by that incident, Omo community was massively attacked, and the result was a colossal damage. Because of the victory against Omo community, his original native names, became lost in historical obscurity, and he adopted a nickname, Ezeogwu, King of War. America. Because America. In the year of 1826, before the fight against Omo community, Chief Ezeogwu metamorphosed into a wealthy personality in Isiokpo, Ikwerre land and south of the Niger. In the year of 1831, Chief Ezeogwu erected a story building made of mud and bone bricks, making him the first Ikwerre man to erect a storied house. Ezeogwu was the first Ikwerre man to build a house, story building in Ikwerre land. In 1831, Chief Ezeogwu erected a story building made of mud and bone bricks, making him the first Ikwerre man to build a house. Unfortunately, 4 years after the house was built, the building was destroyed by some angry white people. What happened was that around the middle period of the 19th century, the white people, mainly of British stock, began a project to recreate a small pathway already constructed by the white people that had earlier come into Isiokpo Kingdom in the early 1800s to connect to the people around the coast of the Niger River to the Igbo hinterland. When the project reached his area, Chief Ezeogwu, showcasing an impertinent disposition towards the Europeans, stopped the project. After many entreaties were made to him, even from one of his best friends from Ezeogwu community called Chief Tasie, to allow the white people to continue the road project. Chief Ezeogwu refused to allow the white people to continue the project. As a result of this impasse, a scuffle ensued, and Chief Ezeogwu and some of his slaves killed 2 white people. Afraid of reprisal attack, Chief Ezeogwu fled Isiokpo community to Arochukwu to take refuge. In utter consternation and in his absence, the white people demolished his building and also set many of his slaves free. When he returned some 2 years after, he came back with some Arochukwu people, Aros, as Arochukwu people are commonly called, to help secure his life. One of the arrows that came back with him was Oyo Mboye. Oyo Mboye is the man who is the founder of Mboyo in Isiokpo Kingdom. So, your patriarch was a man who brought the Arochukwu into Isiokpo. In other contexts, God secures life. One of the arrows that came back with him was Oyemboye, the founder of Aro Isiokpo people, and that actually was the beginning of the coming of Arochukwu people into Isiokpo Kingdom. Some short time after, the Arochukwu people that came with him appealed to Chief Ezeogwu to give them a place in Isiokpo to establish a branch of Arochukwu shrine, popularly called the Long Juju. And Chief Ezeogwu obliged. The branch of the Long Juju was established, and rather than maintain its original purpose of establishment, instead became an avenue for scamming, criminal activities, and jiggery-pokery. You are meeting the writer. Yes. Yes. In the 1830s, Chief Ezeogwu was born. We have not finished with Ezeogwu. Now Wewuje himself. Like his father, Ezeogwu, Wewuje also grew up to become powerful and rich. Wewuje was also a big-time farmer. In the 1830s to about the 1870s, Isiokpo Kingdom became a beehive. This is Jordan. This is the last page.
The last.
Of slave trade activities, especially at the Aya Eke waterside. Slaves from the Igbo hinterland were constantly moved along the Isiokpo road to Aya Eke waterside to be transported to Igwenga slave market located around the Eta Ewa area, and others moved to Bonny slave terminus. Because of the movement of slaves across his frontage, Wewuje decided to use proceeds from his farm to enter the slave trade business. Although the business had been officially banned worldwide, it is still flourished in the remote areas where European naval officers could not reach. In the 1860s, Chief Wewuje Wezo established his own slave trade mini market at the area we have the Aya Alimini Isiokpo today. Chief Wewuje bought his own slaves and quartered them in his own slave market. He employed some good friends in Isiokpo and Ikure in general, like Chief Mpi Kuga of Nkrahia Isiokpo, Chief Elechi of Eleme, and the Chief Abareke of Woji, and many others to get into the slave trade business. But because of constant altercations with them as a result of business dealings, many of them pulled out of the slave trade. In the year of 1876, Chief Wewuje was arrested by some white officials because of a business error that occurred between him and a white slave trader. He was taken to Degema and returned some months after. After his release, he bolted out from the slave trade business and returned to farming, his original occupation. His best friend and brother in Isiokpo used to be the late big chief in Ikure called Chief Mpi Kuga of Isiokpo. Chief Wewuje Ezeogwu, like his father, died an old man and going to the land of the great beyond with a smile on his face, which symbolically means a life well spent and a life of accomplishment. In summary, as you celebrate the lives and times of the late Chief Ezeogwu, the patriarch of Ezeogwu family, and his son, the late Chief Wewuje Ezeogwu, it will be interesting to state unequivocally and without complexities of any kind that the Ezeogwu family has produced great people in Isiokpo and Ikore. The Ezeogwu family the children of Ezeogwu family should always raise their shoulders high when walking, because just as I have said earlier, the Ezeogwu family in the olden days helped to project the image of Isiokpo and Ikore, just as we say it in our native Ikore language. Omaro Ohia Karu Aka Bo Odeka Ishishi Zinima. To know a thick forest is by the trees in it. The name Isiokpo has been a household name in Nigeria because of the resource personages that always come out from the kingdom. People from near and far respect and regard Isiokpo kingdom even in the olden days because of the role some Isiokpo people have played in to shape and frame Isiokpo kingdom. While the ancestors of Ezeogwu family, particularly Chief Ezeogwu and his son Wewuje, had done their best to help bring about great respect to the Ezeogwu family, although Alimini village in Isiokpo kingdom and Ikore land in general, it has become a responsibility for every person in Ezeogwu family to emulate the milestones and achievements that their ancestors had made through unscrupulous ways, hard work, and resilience to overcome challenges. I'll cut it. American. This is Alex British, Ikore #1 historian. America. Aha.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are clapping, clap very well.